This week on our special edition show, Decoding AI and Social Media in America, we'll be exploring AI technology, its impact on social media, and its users. I'm Catherine Brook.
And I'm Claudia DeLima. We'll also take a closer look at cyber criminals and how they might steal your social media photos to make AI-generated nude ones.
Also in our show this week, 4 out of 10 college students are using ChatGPT on assignments.
We'll also explain what WVU News has learned from university officials about AI regulation.
And later in the show, would you pay nearly $500,000 for AI-generated art?
These stories and more coming up on WVU News.
Coming up on WVU News, AI is on the rise, and with it, people's concerns about their safety online. I'm Claudia DeLima, and I'll have that story next.
Straight ahead, has AI voice cloning gone too far? I'm Hannah High School, and I'll tell you about a call you just might receive.
Medication can be hard to manage. I'm John B. Patel, and I'll tell you about a new AI tool that could help pharmacists lessen medication error. Our Emmy Award-winning WVU News starts now.
Across the country, con artists are scamming parents and grandparents out of thousands of dollars by claiming their child or grandchild has been kidnapped.
Hannah High School joins us now to explain this scam. Hannah?
Thanks, Claudia. Catherine. The FBI refers to it as virtual kidnapping. And if you're caught committing this crime, which is a federal violation of extortion, you could face up to 20 years in prison. Scammers are using artificial intelligence to replicate the voices of loved ones in crisis scenarios and demanding money for ransom, causing not only financial but emotional damage.
Our top story, artificial intelligence giving parents a real scare.
Cybersecurity experts are warning artificial intelligence in the hands of criminals is becoming a game changer.
Well, how about this? The Federal Trade Commission warns that scammers are using artificial intelligence to clone people's voices.
Voice cloning scam calls are happening all across the country, from California to Maine. And for mother of 2, Sarah Stone, knowing that these scammers are out there terrifies her.
As a mother, I think I would go into a panic, and I would do whatever I could to help my child out, whether it was giving them money, going to where they're at, taking them to the hospital, whatever they needed, I would do whatever I could.
And Stone has shared a run-in with phone scammers before, leaving her questioning her daughter's safety. So the idea of a virtual kidnapping is even more traumatic.
As parents, we tend to overreact for the love of our kids. So when we are in panic and we're fearful the worst is happening for our children, we're going to reach out to first responders, call 911. We are going to utilize any and all resources that we can to ensure the safety of our child.
So how are scammers cloning your voice? It's as simple as this. They record a person's voice or find an audio clip on the internet. Death penalty in 1965. All they need is as little as 3 seconds, and once replicated, they can add fear and other emotions to the voice. But your voice is found in places other than the internet.
Your voice is on voicemails, it may be on the internet clips, so it's almost impossible to keep a sample of your voice or a sample of your image out of people's hands that would want to do bad things with it.
Enaro Savastava, a computer science and electrical engineering professor, says it's extremely hard to locate these scammers.
This thing, which is AI cloning, is actually illegal without telling the person who you are copying to. It's illegal, but it's still happening.
Officials say if you do receive a virtual kidnapping scam call, you should report it immediately to the FBI by calling 911. So how can you help prevent a virtual kidnapping? The FBI has these tips. You and your family should avoid posting travel plans on social media. Do not share your cell number on social media. And officials say every family should have a code word to confirm an identity.
Thanks, Hannah. Half of Americans are now covered under state bans on non-consensual explicit images made with AI.
These deep fakes mean that AI bots on social media can steal a person's photo and use them to generate lewd images with artificial intelligence.
I spoke to law enforcement and victims who are all too familiar with this dangerous new development.
In 2022, more than 4 billion people used social media worldwide. And online, a new trend is emerging. AI bots stealing a person's information to promote adult content under their name. For Gabby Cummings, this nightmare became a reality. A fake Instagram account used her face on illicit photos.
I was worried about my future career as like an art therapist and applying to grad schools and applying to jobs because they always say like, you know, nothing is truly deleted online. And I felt nervous and scared that it would impact me for something I was not doing.
These bots used advanced algorithms to avoid detection from the social media platforms, posing as real people with real profiles. They can even direct message other social media users from these accounts, encouraging the viewing and purchase of fake pornography of the victim.
AI bots on social media are capable of scraping a person's personal profile and creating a new account that mimics them. These accounts then advertise paid sex and pornography to people the victim knows personally.
Fake accounts can be reported, but it can take days or even weeks for the platform to remove it, all while the bot remains active. But police say there are laws that can help victims take legal action.
There are state codes that they can be charged with. Obviously, investigations would have to ensue. There would be search warrants involved to identify where those images, information, whatever it is that was taken, was sent to. And then we would look into IP addresses, different things of that nature to identify who that person was.
Experts say social media users can protect themselves by having private accounts and reporting suspicious activity online.
Only 10 states have criminalized sexually explicit images generated by AI, and West Virginia is not one of those states.
Instagram's user support page says if you report one of these accounts, they should have the account deleted within 48 hours.
Medication error is defined by the FDA as a preventable event that may lead to inappropriate medication use or patient harm.
And last year alone, there were 100,000 medical errors reported to the FDA.
Our health and medical reporter, John V. Patel, joins us now in the studio to tell us more. John V.
Thanks, Catherine. Claudia. New advancements using artificial intelligence are being developed right here at WVU to ultimately eliminate medication errors. A new AI tool in development at the WVU School of Pharmacy aims to lessen patient hospital readmission rates and medication errors. Shirley Stoll was diagnosed with esophagitis, inflammation of the esophagus, more than a decade ago. She takes 2 medications every day to manage it.
When I was first getting on them, it was kind of hard to get used to, remember to take it and take it on a regular schedule. And since I've been on them so long now, I've got it down pat.
The inflammation was a result of a surgery that hospitalized Stoll. Before she could be discharged, a doctor reviewed her patient records to manage her medication. Dr. Abdullah Al-Mamoun says errors occurred during this process.
When a patient is discharged without proper screening of his medications, and there are a lot of medications that happen, and that is an indicator of readmissions. And readmissions has been a problem in the United States healthcare system.
The annual cost for treating injuries related to medication error in hospitals is $3.5 billion. There are over 20,000 different prescription drug products available on the market to consumers. According to the Academy of Managed Care Pharmacy, at least 1.5 million people are harmed every year due to medication error. A new AI technology being developed in the WVU School of Pharmacy could help reduce those errors.
My project is to support transition of care pharmacists, to develop an AI tool to support the transition of care pharmacists so that analytics and the predictions from the patient history, he gets it right so that he can take better decisions.
The tool will assess whether a patient is ready for discharge and give recommendations on adjusting medication dosages, reducing readmission rates, and saving hospitals money. As a patient, Stoll is optimistic about the benefits.
I just think people were hesitant about adopting new technology, but I think if they embrace it and it's used in the right way, it can be very, very helpful. And I think the AI tool will be wonderful to helping the doctors, the nurses.
The technology is still in early stages, and the team at WVU is hoping to have one model running in the next 6 months. Studies show 7,000 to 9,000 people die each year due to medication errors. This research at WVU aims to make the pharmacist's job more efficient through this AI-driven tool.
Thanks, John V. IBM recently reported that over half of individuals between the ages of 18 and 24 have expressed worries about the potential impact of AI in their career fields.
And Catherine, positions that require constant content creation are reportedly at an even higher risk for AI replacement. Mason Kinsey reports.
Anissa Gallo is an upcoming senior at WVU who is hoping to get a job in the journalism industry after graduation.
It always changes depending on the day and what kind of mood I'm in, but I'm definitely going towards the journalism market.
But over the past few months, advances in AI technology that allow computers to generate news stories has become a concern.
Journalism is a genuine art, and using a computer to generate those stories and those feelings that you get reading something that a journalist wrote, it won't be there anymore.
A recent survey of working journalists found that 46% are very or somewhat concerned that AI will replace their jobs.
This is ChatGPT, one of the premier large language AI softwares, and what it's doing right now is generating a news story about AI usage in the workforce. The way it works is you type in a prompt, hit enter, and within just a couple of seconds, it'll shoot out the best possible answer using data from all across the internet.
Career counselor Ashley Lesnick says while many college students fear for what the future of AI may hold, WVU is encouraging its future graduates to learn how to embrace it.
But what we can do now is really help to prep and understand how can you teach yourself little aspects of this to help you stay relevant.
Lesnick says many students' concerns come from a fear of the unknown. A recent study from the Pew Research Center found only 3 in 10 U.S. adults could effectively describe what AI is and how it can be used.
Now we can spend more time with our clients. We can spend more time building relationships that matter. That's where we can now use the AI.
While a considerable number of states are currently looking into regulating AI use in the workforce, there are still no federal laws to regulate it. Mason Kinsey, WVU News, Morgantown.
ChatGPT was launched in 2022, and since then the software has over 180 million users. The software continues to change educational learning. I spoke with officials about how AI tools such as ChatGPT have affected college education here at WVU. 89% of college students say that they use ChatGPT to complete assignments, according to Study.com. So in 2023, WVU formed a task force to respond to its use. Evan Witters, Associate Provost for Undergrad Education, is a member of that task force and says it's critical that WVU engage with AI as it's not going away anytime soon.
However, having said that, it also offers a lot of shortcuts, particularly in written work. The ability to ask ChatGPT to answer questions, to provide it with a question prompt, give it a few parameters, and then ask it questions is something that it does pretty well.
ChatGPT creates human-like conversational dialogue. It responds to questions and composes written content. I asked ChatGPT to write me a brief summary about how AI tools such as ChatGPT is being used by college students. It told me to tell you ChatGPT acts as a virtual study buddy offering quick answers to questions and clarifications on complex topics. Additionally, students use AI tools to manage their schedules, organize study materials, and receive personalized learning recommendations. A national survey shows college students are split on whether it's ethical to use AI tools to complete coursework. Students on WVU's campus who are willing to talk about the software say it's cheating.
If you're not bothered to write something, why should somebody be bothered to read it or grade it? You should be doing your own work.
I think they're using it as a way to cope with all the stress they're having from school. I feel like, I don't know, I don't think you should use it, but if it comes to a circumstance where you have no other option, I feel like it's something you should do.
More than a third of educators nationally say they believe ChatGPT should be banned in academic settings. But at WVU, Witters says it would be impossible to ban. Instead, he's focused on teaching students how to use this technology. According to university policy, WVU students are not permitted to use AI technology to complete assignments without permission from their instructors.
Coming up, how the growth of artificial intelligence is affecting social media.
And are you able to tell the difference between art produced by people or AI?
These stories and more after the break.
Coming up on WVU News, I'm Ty McClung, and I'll tell you how AI is impacting influencers who are cashing in on social media.
Mountaineers know. Let's go! Really means let's try. Let's create. Let's explore. And let's do it all together.
As social media continues to grow, so does the number of influencers. In 2022, almost 700,000 people filed their taxes, with social media as their full-time job.
And now, companies might have a new way to increase engagement online. Ty McClung joins us live in the studio to explain. Ty?
Thanks, Claudia. Catherine, over 4 billion people across the world have social media accounts. And of that, there are 64 million influencers on Instagram alone. However, companies across the globe are now working to create their own influencers, not by recruiting them, but by creating them with AI.
Please help me pick out an outfit for my college graduation.
Shelby Whiteman is a senior at WVU who has amassed a following on TikTok of over 28,000. She says that she initially started posting for fun, but when she started to gain followers, she saw it as a career opportunity.
My social media totally became a side hustle. I was never expecting it to bring me any type of monetary growth, but it totally replaced my part-time job.
Whiteman is one of an estimated 4 million people who make a living as an influencer on Instagram alone. Some of the most well-known influencers, such as Livy Dunn, have more than 5 million followers and make more than $1 million a year creating content. And the market is only expected to grow.
The social media influencer market was a $16.5 billion industry in 2022 and is expected to reach $200 billion in the next decade.
But now, brands are looking to new technologies to create influencers instead of paying them. Fitness influencer Aitana Lopez has more than 350,000 followers. The catch? She isn't real. She's an influencer designed using AI that brings in almost $11,000 a month. Marketing professionals say that while AI can help productivity, there are drawbacks.
It's not a real person, so I still think it can lack, creativity and, the absence of empathy.
Whiteman also believes the use of AI in social media diminishes the authenticity of being an influencer.
It's hard to create a video and create a voice and create this engaging content when there's not a real person behind it.
Whiteman says she's going to continue working in the social media space as an influencer and is doing what she can to compete with AI.
AI influencers are making their secretive creators tens of thousands of dollars a month. This method of marketing allows companies the ability to cut costs associated with brand endorsements. Catherine, Claudia, back to you.
Thanks, Ty. One of the most noticeable ways AI has transformed social media is through personalization.
AI algorithms analyze user behavior, interests, and preferences to curate customized content feeds. But as Drew Solt reports, is this always a good thing?
The average American spends nearly 2.5 hours every day on social media. Journalism professor Bob Britton says social media use itself isn't inherently bad, but the algorithms that choose what we see can be.
The things that worked well in terms of what you got suggested for you don't feel as good as they used to feel. They don't feel like they're as spot on as they used to be.
Britton says the algorithms are often generated through machine learning, which is influenced by the people who create them. Social media platforms are adopting artificial intelligence-driven tools and algorithms to help identify objects, texts, and faces in videos. However, AI-driven tools have flaws and can contribute to biases. Biases result in photos that have the faces of people of color edited out, or social media feeds with violent or negative content that keeps you scrolling.
A lot of the problems we talk about, I would say, come not really out of malice, the intent to do harm, which are the examples that get covered, but out of, for lack of a better term, laziness. The idea that, it's just easier to let the computer do it.
Recent studies have shown a fourfold increase in the level of misogynistic content suggested by TikTok, and some social media users say that the technology isn't all good.
I think it's a little scary, honestly. I think it's getting a little too much, a little too, what's the word? Like, invasive, in my personal opinion. I think it could be helpful, but I think people are using it for the wrong reasons.
Researchers say regulating the platforms could help reduce the amount of violence young people are exposed to because of the algorithms. Drew Solt, WVU News, Morgantown.
In November of 2023, an original Monet painting achieved a remarkable price of $74 million at Christie's in New York.
And Catherine, the highest valued piece of AI-generated art was purchased for $432,000.
Sterling Gibson joins us live from Studio B at the Media Innovation Center to tell us more. Sterling?
Thanks, Catherine. Claudia. Believe it or not, the piece of artwork you see behind me was created by artificial intelligence and recently won first place in a fine arts competition. And that's why 55% of artists worry that AI will hinder their ability to generate income by selling their own art. And 74% believe AI artwork is unethical. I take a closer look into the world of AI-generated art. Art has been a vital part of communication and expression since 40,000 BC. Recently, there's been a revolution that has changed art and the way we perceive it: AI image generation.
I'm really interested in the way that AI can teach us something about ourselves as humans and reveal to us maybe hidden things about the way that we as humans think and the way that we as humans create.
So, can you tell the difference? One of these photos was created by Hiroaki Takahashi, and the other was completely AI generated. Well, how'd you do? The photo on the right was produced by Midjourney, an AI image generator. If you got this correct, you are in the 54% of people that can still recognize AI art. AI art has been booming in the past year. Since 2023, more than 15.5 billion users have generated AI art online. The most common apps we see today are DALL-E, Midjourney, and Stable Diffusion. So how exactly does this work? Well, you simply type in a description of what you want to see. In less than 10 seconds, the photo will come to life right in front of your eyes. And every day, there are around 34 million new AI-generated images. However, 45% of the art community finds these type of images unethical. But some educators, like Assistant Professor Jeffrey Moser, say that this could be an important tool for teaching art.
We have a lot of professors on campus that are looking to sort of limit the amount of AI that's being used in the classroom. I'm asking my students to use it more and more.
Artists across the globe are finding new ways to create a platform for their work. More than 65% of artists have used AI platforms to inspire their own pieces of art as they continue trekking the new world of digitally generated work. 53% of Americans worry that AI-generated images will be mistaken for the real thing. An example of this is an AI-generated deepfake video of Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky announcing a surrender to Russia. Catherine, Claudia, back to you at the Waterfront Studio.
Thanks, Sterling. Coming up, WVU Athletics has made some unique changes to their social media content.
We will meet the team behind the new content after the break.
I'm Tanner Inyard, and coming up next on WVU News, I'll tell you what lenses like these and all the equipment behind me are used for here at WVU.
Quiet and ready in control room. 3, 2, 1. Fade in bumper.
WVU News is local, in-depth, and always on the move for you. And it's always on YouTube, on the web, and on the Reed College of Media website. A national first-place Emmy Award-winning college newscast, taped at the Waterfront Studio at West Virginia University. Stay in the know, stay connected, watch WVU News.
Claudia, the WVU Athletics creative content team has been gaining popularity over the past year.
The creative team highlights every Mountaineer sport, bringing more fans to their games.
Our sports reporter Tanner Enyart joins us live in the studio to tell us more. Tanner?
Thanks, Catherine and Claudia. The creative content team here at WVU got new leadership last year, and since then, a new era of WVU content has been developed for Mountaineer Nation. West Virginia Athletics has some of the most engaging fans in the new 16-team Big 12 Conference. They have over 173,000 followers on X, ranking 5th in the Big 12. And on Instagram, they have over 85,000 followers, ranking 11th. By taking the median number of followers of the two platforms throughout the new Big 12, WVU ranks 7th overall. And with social media growing, this puts not only teams, but entire athletic departments in competition for eyeballs and engagement. West Virginia Assistant Athletics Director of Digital Media, Ross Mara, says that it's also important to create content that is memorable while showing fans the tradition of West Virginia.
Our biggest goal is to share the fan experience. We want people that were there to be able to relive it. We want people that weren't there to, man, I got to get back up there. I can't believe I missed that. And then folks that maybe have never been to a WVU sporting event, we want them to, be able to see it and say, I didn't even know that was going on there. We got to get up to Morgantown.
The team uses Adobe Premiere and puts together videos that range from short 30-second clips to 10-plus minute long-format stories. The creative team here at WVU works with all 18 varsity Mountaineer sports. They help promote the athletes and the teams themselves. Mara says that quality over quantity is important to him and his team, whether it's a cinematic recap or an athlete feature like the recent highlight video of junior WVU quarterback Garrett Green, which even caught Mountaineer head coach Neil Brown's attention.
Did you ask Garrett about his feature film we had? I had to really hang in there for 7 minutes.
Green says that videos like these from the creative content team help bring the fans closer to Mountaineer athletes. He appreciates it.
Yeah, it feels good. That's the special thing about this state and this university is that, you really have 1.8 behind you, and that's what I fell in love with as a junior in high school. I'm still in love with it today.
Mara and his team are continuing the hard work to highlight WVU athletes and their success in both competition and life. Covering 18 sports is no easy feat. However, social media has transformed the game, giving the creative team nearly limitless options for creating engaging content. Catherine and Claudia, back to you.
Thanks, Tanner. Well, that's it for this special edition of WVU News. I'm Claudia DeLima.
We hope you have enjoyed our stories with dealing with decoding AI in social media. I'm Catherine Brook. You can visit us online on our website. You can also watch our shows on YouTube and statewide on West Virginia Public Broadcasting on Sundays at 6:30 p.m.
We also stream on HD Media's website. You can also find us streaming on KDKA TV's website. Thanks for watching our last show of the semester. We'll see you next year.